Excellent. For people that may not have caught us last time or checked out the game, can you kind of describe what kind of wrestling game it is here?
Yeah, sure. So it's a wrestling management sim, and the idea is that you start out as a sort of a small-time promoter putting on shows in front of 50 people, and your goal is to kind of work your way up into bigger arenas, sign TV deals, pay-per-view deals, and then eventually you get to duke it out online with sort of like the biggest TV rating war there is. So it's a management game.
It's
enough for you guys, I don't know.
Now, Riz and I have had a little bit of time with this game. Riz, you've had a little bit more than I have at this point. What are your impressions of it so far?
So far, I do like the game. It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. It reminds me of back in the old WWE SmackDown vs. Raw games when they had the build the GM mode where you can create a match, where you can create a year and all that stuff. That was good. I liked that aspect of it. And I liked how you kept like similar names on here, like the Business, like be a copy of the Miz, and like try to keep the same flavor to it. I do like that a lot. But like you said, I do have some bugs that come up sometimes, but I'm pretty sure we can fix that. But overall, it's a really good play.
Well, that's the relief, eh? Because I mean, if you'd have slotted it right there, this would have been a whole different interview.
So the game is interesting. It's $9.99 in the App Store. I have to ask, kind of maybe it's a little bit inside baseball for the developer side, but that it does seem at first glance, and I think some of the reviews kind of reflect this thought as well, that seems a little high for an iOS game at this point. And I know that's a tough thing to try to pick the price points, and I'm sure there was a lot of deliberation over it. Can you tell us? Can you tell us? Pretty much, can you justify that to the detractors about it being a $10 iPhone game?
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, guys, the difference between developing an iPhone game and developing any other kind of game is just that, you know, you're paying programmers to work on a different platform. But at the end of the day, you still have to pay these programmers, you know. And what we did is we went out and we picked up some of, you know, the industry's sort of great programmers. We've got guys that worked on games like Portal and games like Grand Theft Auto and Crackdown and things like that.
Awesome.
So, you know, unfortunately, they come with wages, and it's one of those things where we looked at the market. We knew that wrestling management games was not particularly out there. For example, we're the first wrestling management game on the iPhone. If you look at all the different wrestling management game series out there, they tend to be made by one or two guys kind of who are just hardcore fans. And they're kind of sat in the bedrooms doing it or things like that. We've tried to do this in a more professional way, tried to get it so that it's, you know, a really big, really long game. The downside is that because there isn't like a massive game out there, the market's a fairly small thing. So yeah, there's tons of wrestling fans, but how many of them wrestling fans are WWE fans and won't play something without a WWE license? Then on top of that, how many of them would play a management game? And then even smaller version of that is how many of them who would play a wrestling game, who don't care about the licensing fee, actually have an iPhone. And then so now we'll get down to a real small number of people, and it's kind of like, well, if we're gonna make this great game, we're gonna need support from the people that want to play the same kind of game, if you know what I mean. Exactly.
So this isn't for basically you don't think about this as for the general iPhone, say, gaming Angry Birds audience. This is for the hardcore fan, the hardcore wrestling fan that's going to appreciate this.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's not like my mum's going to pick this up and play it. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
You just don't get...
No, they'll pick up the Angry Birds WWE game. That's out there.
That's what I mean. That's the kind of game that you're getting on a wrestling thing right now, and that's because these games are crazy expensive to make, and I think people underestimate it. You know.
I mean, it's not Modern Warfare 3, but it still is a pretty high price tag.
Well, yeah, I mean, to give you an idea, we've worked on this for a year. We've got, I mean, if you look at the credits, there's a ton of people in them credits.
Oh yeah.
And then on top of that, what we're actually doing is we're going to be supporting this for the next year. So that's going to be, so we're already on patch 1's just come out. We're about to launch update 2. That brings with it some more features. So in the first month, there's going to have been 2 updates. By the time this time next year, there's going to have been so many free updates that I really just think it's worth the fee, you know? And on top of that, I'd love to know how long it takes you guys to complete this. Because to me, if you're going to play a game for 20, 30 hours, you know, I mean, is that really too much to ask? $7.99 or $9.99 in dollars?
Exactly.
To be honest, I haven't put this down yet. I was at work and I was playing this, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think you're playing it at work, so it's definitely working out. Right? It is nice because it is because it's just a management game as opposed to if you're picking up like what I think WWE had like a Legends game. Like you would expect a wrestling game, you want something like Raw versus SmackDown or something. I think at first thought, and you're not going to be sneaking that like Riz is at his desk, you know. So or right now during the show apparently.
Right now.
This is just great.
Tremendous. What's up, Josh? How you doing over there? You're snickering a little bit at some of the stuff going on. This is the first time you've picked this up at the beginning of the show.
I went into the auctions, and it's where you can bid on wrestlers to join your Fed, and it takes your money. But no, it's game money. The money you made for matches and everything. I'm just looking at some of the names. The Business.
I have him.
The art's great on this thing.
Christian Rage. The Leprechaun.
There's the Overtaker.
Yeah, the Overtaker. Kingston,
completely original
Jamaica.
Characters, right?
No, this is
Abel.
Yeah, Abel. Dos Rodriguez.
So
I mean, it's just
the fans will appreciate.
Yeah, it's just entertaining stuff.
This is great.
We've actually got 1 or 2 guys that have really taken exception to this, and they're going around every forum that they can find and slagging the game off just because we've done that. I mean, the company's called Serious Parody, for Christ's sake. You would think they would know
that's true.
what it was getting.
Wait, hold on. I can bid on Madison Square Garden. I'm doing that.
Awesome. So, of course, you guys are getting caught up with the updates and fixing. You know, that's always going to happen when you finally get this thing out on, you know, how many hundreds or thousands of devices, you know. But aside from just kind of catching up and squashing the bugs, what's you know, you say you're going to have a lot of updates. Is there anything on the wish list for this game that we can expect?
There's so many things that you guys can expect. So the apart from, like, say, the bugs and patches, but we've got a patch that we're submitting to Apple this Friday, for example. What that does is it brings a feature that lets you copy all of. You basically get to put pictures of wrestlers in a folder, drag them into iTunes, type the name of the wrestlers into a text file, and then every wrestler in the game will be updated with like real pictures. Now, if you imagine that might sound like a lot of work for one guy, but if the community sort of grab a hold of this, what that could mean is that this time in a couple of weeks, you could be playing this game, and instead of using the Overtaker, you know, I'm very sure somebody out there will go and grab the Undertaker, and then you're playing with that kind of a thing. And I'm sure that's going to appeal to some people.
Awesome.
Then we've got things like bookers that we're bringing into the game, which are going to be sort of basically they're going to help with automating the process. You know, so if you've got a really high class booker, he's going to pick matches that make sense. We've got rivalries coming up. We've got storylines coming up. We've just got a serious ton of features. Merchandise, so that you can buy and sell things at arenas and stuff, and so that you can produce guys like John Cena who are, you know, merchandise money-making guys.
I mean, there's really an opportunity too. If you like have a favorite local fed, you can kind of shape this towards that. Like, you know, if we wanted like say Ring of Honor or you know, our local IWC or something like that, you can kind of start emulating that and kind of play fantasy whatever, right?
Yeah, totally. They're all the kind of things that we're trying to do. You know, we're just. I don't know. We love the game, to be honest. I play it myself. Get this. So I test the game on a regular basis. Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing all of anything that's wrong with it, but I'm still coming home and playing it as an actual game. I just think that's. And because of that, I get to see all the ways that we can improve it, and I'm so excited for what it's going to be in the future.
Excellent.
Ultimate Y match and the tables, ladders, and stairs.
Awesome, excellent.
I just bought that one for you.
Oh, did you? So, hey, thanks a lot. It's looking great. The guys are having fun with it, obviously, right here. I'm sure Chachi's going to be playing it the rest of the show now.
You've lost me.
Yeah, we've lost them. So I think you got the ringing endorsement right there from the Mayhem show between Chachi and Riz. Riz, you got any final thoughts on the game before we let our guests go here?
No, I think everything looks good. I can't wait to see the updates to it and the bug fixes and all that stuff. But it looks great. Looks like a great game.
I gotta say, it's even looking good. Like I said, he's playing this on an iPad. It's an iPhone developed game, but he's playing at 2x an iPad. It still looks really decent. I think. I mean, it doesn't it, Chach?
Oh no, it looks great. You can't tell.
Yeah, definitely. So, hey, Dan, thanks a lot again. Hey, tell us, where can people check out more about the game and get the game itself?
Well, you can get the game from iTunes or from your app store and things like that. And, you know, you come see wrestlingmanagement.com, and we've got loads of info on there. One thing I will say is we're out in the forums as much as we possibly can. We've been quite heavy on Touch Arcade, so we're spending a lot of time in the forums there, and various smaller sort of wrestling forums like the UK Fan Forum and things like that, where we're just trying to sort of we want to get everybody's feedback on the game, because the best way to improve a game is to get feedback from the people that play it. So if you've got ideas, if you look at something and you go, well, maybe this could do it a different way, or maybe you could add this to it, please come and tell us. And if you find a bug in the game, please come and tell us. We'll be able to fix it that way. We'll get it as good as we can possibly get it, you know?
Excellent. All right, we'll be keeping an eye on that. Let us know if there's anything else, any other big updates, and we'll be sure to share it with our audience here. And like I said, we've definitely lost Chachi for the rest of the show. So
I'm trying to figure out what wrestlers I want to bid on.
Just a couple of tips there. If you double tap the card at turnover.
Oh, hey, look at that.
What's that? Oh, there you go, full size. Put it on the cameras. There you go.
Nice. I didn't even see that. That's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, if you tip that thing in the bottom right hand corner, he'll turn over and you'll be able to see a load of stats and things. The other right hand corner.
Where at? The question mark?
So double tap the card.
Double tap the card.
Yeah.
Oh, then over in the.
Are you a guy on the camera?
Yeah, there we go. Okay. I was looking for that on the other screen.
And then in the bottom right hand corner.
Oh, nice.
All right, and then you can scroll up and down there. So if you just put your finger on one of them and scroll, you'll see sort of right in the middle of the card. And there's more stuff there. And that'll sort of help you decide, you know, who you're buying, who you're not buying, what's going on.
I was going purely by name.
That's what I did.
He's very visual. He's like name, image, in. Awesome.
I really would recommend anyone playing it to check out the hints section on the wrestlingmanagement.com as well. That'll get you in the right mood, I think.
Yeah, like I said, I wish I would have read that before I started playing. So go check it out, wrestlingmanagement.com. And thanks, Dan, for joining us, for being up way late at night, I know, over there. And thanks for joining us for episode 300.